What? What? It just never ends. Oh my god, it's so bad. Hello there. Today, I'm going to not review, sorry, I'm going to try to fix my brother's account. Now, fixing my brother's account is a little bit weird because, one, he's almost AR59, and secondly, I've kind of already fixed his account by nature of the fact that I live with my brother, so I've been able to, I've been the one that basically helps him figure out what artifacts to put on his characters. I think I equipped most of his characters for him. Despite all that, my brother has not really been able to clear Abyss, and to be honest, some of that is a skill issue. If you see this 36 star here, that was me. As far as I'm aware, I don't think my brother has ever actually 36 starred the Abyss, but I'm pretty sure, around probably like this time frame, he should have been able to start consistently clearing Abyss. So today I want to address some of the things wrong on his account to help him with that. But he might just have to, practice using his characters better. I probably should have been making more of these videos, by the way, because I recently noticed, the most viewed video on my channel from many months ago was me trying to fix my friend's Genshin account. That account was in a much worse state than this one is, of course. But there is still valuable things to be learned here. Alright, so the number one issue my brother has, and this is kind of what inspired making this video, is he's really bad at understanding artifacts. So my general goal is to kind of go through his artifacts, which you see he has a lot of leveled up artifacts, because again, I've helped him with a lot of things. But the bigger problem is all the non-leveled up artifacts. What? What? It just never ends. There's oh my god, it's so bad. So why is there so many? Oh god, this is gonna take me forever. There we go, it's finally over. So my hope with this video my hope with this video is to be able to I can't stop giggling. There's so many artifacts. I didn't realize there was that many. My hope with this video is to kind of go through and fix this issue. He's got 1,400 out of 1,800 artifacts, and the number one thing that could be fixing these is just having some artifact knowledge. Knowing that, okay, do I need this piece if it doesn't roll a good stat on the next line here? So much of Genshin account progression it's of course tied to the characters you have, but it's also tied to most notably artifacts, and the general improvement of the quality of artifacts that you have in an account over time is, in my opinion, the biggest measure of account progression. So we're gonna go through and try to fix this absolute mess of an artifact issue. But before that, we will just look over my brother's characters real quick, because the other main thing that you can do to fix an account is to focus on leveling up the core most versatile supportive units in the game. And I'm gonna sound a little bit pedantic when I'm saying this, by the way, but it's to illustrate a point, and also for anyone that this isn't who's new to the game, and this might not be immediately obvious to you. But how the question I'm gonna ask is, how many characters do you have in a team in Genshin? You got Navia, that's 1, Baiju 2, Yai 3, Fischl 4. All right, sweet, we got 4 characters. Okay, new question: how many of them are on field at any one time? It's an easy answer. It's 1. I'm being a butthole for a reason. So, the point I'm trying to illustrate is MiHoYo tends to release lots of flashy on-field characters, and people like to pull for them because they're flashy and they're fun. They do lasers of water in your face. Well, not in your face, in the enemy's face. The most useful characters in Genshin are the ones that can be off-field, because 3 out of 4 characters at any given time are off-field. This does not mean you have to, it has to be off-field damage dealers like Farina. It just has to be characters whose abilities function off-field in some form. For my brother here, I'm going to look at what he's got that he hasn't leveled up. Mostly for relevant 4 stars, I would say. So he's leveled up Kuki, which is good. He's not level up Sucrose. I have actually, well, he has leveled up Sucrose a little bit, but this is because I pressured him to level up Sucrose. So Sucrose is so much stronger than most people, I think, give her credit for. Well, I don't know. Anyone who knows a lot, technically, about Genshin, to be clear, knows that Sucrose is really good. But Sucrose is genuinely better than Kazuha in some teams. That's how strong she is. We're not going to get into it. Sucrose is good. You should level her up. My brother is already doing that, and I will continue to yell at him to continue leveling her. You don't have to level 90 her, by the way, but she does get a not insignificant value from being level 90 because her damage is swirl damage. Swirl damage is transformative reaction, which scales on level. Don't forget that for VV, 4-star artifacts, especially like EM goblets that are really rare, these are not that much worse than 5-star ones, right? A 5-star timepiece that's EM has 187 EM versus a 4-star has 139. You're missing a little bit more than like 2 rolls of EM in substats by having a 4-star piece. It's not the end of the world. Xingqiu has level, that's good. As far as like, I should, go through the characters I'm looking for. So the main characters I'm looking at is like Xingqiu, Bennett, Kuki, Fischl. Fischl is, I think, someone, a surprising number of people don't use. My brother only leveled up Fischl in the last couple months, again, when I yelled at him to. So I even convinced him to take the Polar Star from Tignari because Fischl is so strong that basically what I told him is Fischl would gain more value from Polar Star than you would lose in value from Tignari. Yao Yao is a really good Dendro support. Dendro Traveler is a really good Dendro support. This is Hydro Traveler. I do not recommend Hydro Traveler. My brother does have Baiju, Nahia, Yao Yao, so he has a decent amount of Dendro supports. Honestly, he should probably, use Dendro Traveler potentially in some team options, because sometimes, you're using Nahid on one side, and the second best Dendro player is honestly Dendro Traveler still. As far as like AoE off-field Dendro goes, Yao Yao and Baiju are nice because of healing, but they're not necessarily perfect in how they apply Dendro. But yeah, Beto's a good option. I don't think she's necessarily someone who ever needs to build over, the likes of Xingqiu or Xiangling or whatever, but she's quite good, and I think she's undervalued a lot. For that matter, I also think Yunjin's a bit undervalued for how a lot of people play this game. Like, if you're someone who doesn't care that much about Abyss, Yunjin can give a not insignificant damage buff to your normal attacks, and a lot of people, I think, just kind of like to spam normal attacks. And, if you're someone who just likes the dopamine from seeing big number, Yunjin is really, really good at just giving you dopamine for big number, right? Like, Navia, for example, is a good example of someone who, yes, a lot of her damage isn't just normal attack damage, it's her skill damage, but if you use Yunjin with Navia as, your second Geo unit and a Bennett, Xiangling, Yunjin, Navia team, you will see, instead of getting 5k or whatever on her normal attacks, you'll start to see, 10, 15k, whatever more with Yunjin. And that's pretty cool. And Yunjin's buff doesn't have to be tied to, like Bennett's circle impact or anything. So I really like Yunjin. I think she's undervalued. Is she the best? No, not necessarily. And she's a little bit annoying to build because you have to stack a lot of defense and build her with ER. I really like Yunjin as a buffer. I think she's super undervalued personally for how so many people play this game. On a meta level, she's not someone that's going to like insanely make your teams better at clearing Abyss or anything. I want to be clear on that. But a character that will help you clear Abyss faster is Amber. No, it's Xiangling. Yeah, my brother has level 20 Xiangling, and I think the main reason is because he still doesn't have C4 Xiangling. he's almost AR59 and doesn't have C4 Xiangling. I don't know if he has bought Xiangling from the shop. So for what it's worth, Xiangling is in the shop next month. So, that's in, how many days is that in? Let's see here. That is in 9 days. So 9 days from now, you can get a Xiangling in the shop, and you can get Xiangling from the Leeway selector. And Xiangling is fairly commonly, a featured character on banners. So more often than not, within a year of play, it shouldn't be that hard to get a C4 Xiangling. And the reason I'm focusing on C4 Xiangling is because C4 Xiangling extends her burst duration by 40%. And what makes Xiangling strong is her burst. It's overpowered. I'm not going to get super into it. I don't really like using Xiangling on my main account because she's so strong that she just kind of makes the game relatively boring. So I tend to avoid using her outside of teams where it's just like she's the obvious option. The more you play Genshin, the more you'll realize how strong Xiangling is and how much she enables strong teams to just work well. Xiangling without her C4 can absolutely be worthwhile, but having played a lot of C0 Xiangling on my weapon banner only account, where I will probably, well, I shouldn't say never, but it will take me a long time to get a C4 Xiangling. I don't really like C0 Xiangling that much. I think her teams, the traditional teams that Xiangling is really good in, are a little bit awkward with C4 because of the downtime in her burst. Reason for that is she has a 20-second cooldown with a 10-second duration at C0, and then C4 makes it a 4-second longer duration, and that doesn't seem like much, but it's kind of all the difference in the world, in my opinion. The number one requirement when it comes to building Xiangling, and the reason I'm going over this again, because Xiangling is just ridiculous. This is the main unit on my brother's account that like he should have built sooner rather than later, because she's just that strong at like enabling you to clear Abyss. If Abyss is not your goal, you know, you don't have to build Xiangling. I'm not saying she's going to be the best overworld character or anything, but you will notice if you invest in her and use her in Abyss in the teams where she makes sense, which is a lot of teams. My brother is using a lot of his emblem artifacts on existing characters, but like this could be used on Xiangling instead of Xingqiu. However, Xingqiu doesn't like emblem too. Xingqiu works well enough on 4-piece noblesse that not with this goblet, but I would potentially prioritize putting Xiangling on emblem over putting Xingqiu on emblem if you're limited on emblem artifacts. Okay, yeah, he doesn't. My brother doesn't even have an ER timepiece on emblem. That's sad. Oh, he has this one. Okay, no, it's on Rosaria. So yeah, like he has enough emblem artifacts that we could we could equip this piece. We could equip this piece. Let's just see what it looks like. All right, 4-piece emblem build on Xiangling. We gotta put the catch on. My brother doesn't have a catch. Okay. Well, let me go show you the catch. The catch is annoying to fish for, but this weapon is ridiculously strong. Like you get R5 of it for free, right? And it increases at R5. It increases the elemental burst damage by 32% and burst crit rate by 12%, and has energy recharge as a substat. It's basically all the things that Xiangling wants, such that in my opinion, the only weapon that potentially is better for Xiangling is Engulfing Lightning, Raiden Shogun's signature weapon. And I don't recommend pulling Engulfing just for Xiangling, to be clear. I don't think she needs it. But that's how good the catch is, in my opinion. We're going to pretend we have the catch on. If we had the catch, this Xiangling would have actually more ER than she needs, and a relatable amount of crit damage. Anyways, that's my tirade about Xiangling. Adam needs to build Xiangling. He needs to fish for the catch. And that's kind of it. Alright, I'm going to look through my brother's built characters quick to see if there's any glaring issues in any of their builds, but I don't think there is, because again, as I mentioned before, I'm the one that set up their equipment for the most part. My brother got C2 of Freyna. I told him there was like no reason for him to get this for how he plays the game, but he did it anyways. His logic was he was going to go until he lost the 50-50, and he didn't lose the 50-50. He also didn't lose the 50-50 for Navia. Screw him. Anyways, getting distracted. Relatable on-set goblet, and I actually saw my brother level this piece up. I forgot that he had this. This artifact is actually cracked. Like this is official build that has almost 2k attack, but still has 200 EM with an attack timepiece. This is a really strong official build. Nuvilette, that's a lot of HP on Nuvilette. I think he's using an HP goblet. If I recall correctly, he had a really, yeah. Yeah. People tend to undervalue, I think, yes, Hydro Goblet is, whatever percentage better. So, actually, it's an interesting comparison here. So my brother has a Hydro Goblet onset or an HP Goblet onset. But if you have good enough substats in your Hydro Goblet, right, like a 40 CV Hydro Goblet with 2 extra ER rolls, that could potentially be better than a Hydro Goblet. It depends exactly on, what your total stat balance is, and it might even depend on what team you're using, but honestly, I think his Hydro Goblet is his HP Goblet is probably better than his Hydro Goblet. Let's go test it real. All right, we're not going to do any reactions to buff him at all. We're just going to see what we get. All right, 10,500. Yeah, okay, 10,500. Sweet, that's the number. That's with Hydro Goblet. All right, and here's the build with the HP Goblet instead. I am not sure if this will be better or not. It's a little bit worse. So, which means in my brother's case, as far as the damage number you're seeing goes, this Hydro Goblet, despite it being a lot worse in subset value, is still slightly better, like 5% better for his damage. the thing is, the ER is also something you really shouldn't ignore, because the most important stat for characters when you're building them is not crit. It's meeting their ER requirements for most characters. And one thing that's notable, by the way, is if we use Farina. Basically, if you're, getting damage bonus from the likes of Kazuha or the likes of Farina, you wind up in a situation wherein the relative value of damage percent bonus stats goes down. And this actually might be a situation where if I have Farina's buff going and I swirl with Kazuha, we might see the HP Goblet take over. Alright, so we're going to do Hydro Goblet first again. Alright. Yep. Don't touch me. Alright, what do we get? 20, 25, 26. I saw 25, 26k. Alright. Alright, we'll try the HP Goblet again and see what we get. $27k, 27. Yeah, it's consistently higher. Yep. So there you go. There's a nice lesson in the relative gains you get from different stats depends on exactly what you got going on. Let's say you're doing Nuvilet in a Hyperbloom team with Nahida and Kuki, and then my brother would actually want to use this Hydro Goblet. But as soon as he starts probably using Kazuha Farina, the HP Goblet starts to edge out a little bit. Is the basic thing going on here. Point being, just don't undervalue, especially when they're on set. Don't undervalue goblets like this that, have a main stat that's, oh, it's not ideal, but they're still good enough. Nilu has 2 HP, 2 HP, 56k HP, probably, she's on Zyphos. Okay, okay, having an EM weapon for Nilu if you don't have, the box cutter or obviously her signature is a good option. Oh no, he does have the box cutter. What the frick? I didn't know he had this. He should definitely be using this. Also, I like how it matches her pretty decently. And that's basically... Alright, and that's basically it for my brother's built characters. Alright, I feel like this video is already going to be like 30 minutes old, but it's finally time to go into the freaking artifacts. So I probably mentioned it before, but the main thing when leveling up artifacts, I'm like, okay, if we're going to level up this flower, right? If it rolls heavily into crit damage and ER, it's probably pretty good. If it rolls into defense, it still could be a good piece for someone like Albedo. But it's kind of a, take this piece to level 8 and see where it lands, right? That's a crit roll, that could be pretty good. And that's the general way to do it. So, of course, this piece is now rolling decently enough that you should continue with it. For my purposes, I would have actually preferred it didn't roll well so that I could get through more artifacts faster. But the main thing you got to do, right, is just judge based on what you have currently. So if I go and look at what my brother currently has, so this already has 2 crit rolls and 2 ER rolls. What does my brother currently have for leveled up flowers in this set? And he currently has 2 pieces of okay crit value with some other valuable stats on them, right? And that's good, but he could definitely get some better feathers is what we're looking at, better flowers. Blech. And this one in particular is good enough to continue with because it has ER. I think I've mentioned in this video already, ER is the most important stat in the game. So if you keep on getting ER rolls, and you need the ER in your Farina, they're really good. My brother really does not have much fodder. Oh boy. Okay, you know what? Instead of leveling that piece up, I gotta go through some of his other pieces and try to figure out whether they're worth keeping. My general way of judging artifacts is by stat value more than anything else. So like this artifact here, it was a 3-line start. I rolled ER in the last line. And this could be a good stat for Farina. This could be a good stat for a Navia. This could be a good stat for anyone who wants crit. And then this is a good stat for every character in the game. Well, no, not necessarily, because you wouldn't want this artifact necessarily on every character in the game, unless it's an off piece. But, this artifact is a weird case of like, yeah, it's not double crit, it's not ideal. But depending on how this rolls, it could be the perfect artifact for a certain character. And it's worth keeping. It's just something that, like, I think people undervalue the utility of artifacts that are really high in one stat sometimes, especially if that stat is ER. Yeah, this thing. So, this goblet is, I don't even think it's a 20 CV goblet, right? But it has 31% energy recharge. for the character that needs to use this, let's say a Sino, right? Sino's pretty energy hungry, especially if you're doing a Gilded Dreams build. Sino's pretty energy hungry. This could be a god tier goblin for him if you need that ER. Keep artifacts like these. And same reason unlocking this. He already has decent enough pieces that are like, almost 30 crit value with 2 HP or 2 attack rolls or 3 EM rolls, right? Like, what is the chance that this rolls, like, what does this have to roll for him to use this on his Farina over his existing piece? And like, I don't think it's really possible, right? It could roll 30% crit damage, but then it's basically the same stat value anyways, because this has 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls of crit and then 2 rolls of HP. That's 6 lines of stat value for Farina. Wherein this artifact, if it rolled entirely into crit and HP, would be 6 lines of stat value. So it's not an upgrade. It's not possible for it to be an upgrade. So why bother? I absolutely do not recommend you subscribe to the idea of throwing away artifacts that only have one crit line or anything, right? Like, Farina wants a bunch of ER, she wants crit, and then, flat HP at least does something for her. Like, don't throw away these artifacts. Oh, for circlets? So this is an example of a circlet that's like, it doesn't have crit rate. It doesn't have crit damage when it's a crit rate main stat. It's cope. The thing is, unless you get really, really lucky, the vast majority of the crit you will ever have on a circlet is from the main stat, right? And therefore, it's not the end of the world to have a circlet that's heavy in other stats, and sometimes it's better. Circlets I really like, actually, sometimes being heavy in something like attack percent because, well, it's an EM circlet, right? But, I like circlets that can be heavy in attack percent or whatever. Circlets can oftentimes be the pieces that on your build, because you get so much of the crit you need from the main stat, the substats being heavy in EM or ER can oftentimes, in my opinion, be the piece that can fix your build, right? It can help you, meet your ER thresholds by putting a heavy ER piece on a heavy ER circlet on your Farina, for example. Let's say this rolled 20% ER or something. So this is a kind of piece that I think is absolutely worth keeping for situations like those. But they're never usually the priority to level up necessarily. They're something you keep in case you need them, right? Ooh, this is level 8 and already has 2 crit rolls. Okay, we gotta check this piece. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Surely we don't miss at level 16. Ah! Oh, I was gonna unlock and throw this artifact away, but I just remembered that my brother is planning to build Noelle, I think, and this is actually a really, really good piece for Noelle. Ooh, look at that. There's a nice 0 dead stat piece. See, this is like all my brother had to do, right? He just had to level up some of his 3 good line pieces that he has and see if they roll a good line on the 4th line. And look at that. That's probably, well, it depends how it rolls. But that could very easily be an upgrade for official, right? Compared to this piece. I will level this 4 line though, because we have a level 20 piece to throw away. Blam. We need all the crit, or it's... okay, it's... No, it's not good enough. He definitely has better pieces. This could be good for Albedo, to be clear, but he's not planning to pull for Albedo and does not have him, so yeah. Alright, I am gonna level up this for him. Let's see. I unlocked a whole bunch of his circlets, by the way, because my brother really likes to lock random pieces. Like, he was locking pieces like this circlet, for example, which... In something like Marshall says, when the set gives so much free crit rate, I think non-crit circlets have a little bit more relevance, but most of the time, you really only care about crit circlets or potentially EM circlets, and you only care about HP circlets with ER potentially on healers or characters like Baiju that give a buff based on their HP. You generally don't care about crit on HP circlets or healing bonus circlets or whatever. And my brother was locking a lot of like, oh, healing bonus with 1 line of crit, and it's just like those aren't worth bothering with, in my opinion. Unless you're farming for a healer and you like are looking for, a healing bonus circlet with those stats for some reason. Ooh, that's a max roll. That's not bad. And I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. There's 2 max rolls of EM, 2 max rolls of crit damage. Artifacts like these ones, my brother was smart to keep because whether or not this artifact is relevant is just depending on if it rolls crit the last line, and it didn't, so we can get rid of it. But if that are roll crit rate or crit damage, this could be a very relevant Marshall piece, especially if it rolls crit damage. Okay, yeah, so he has a lot of Marshall pieces that just need to be leveled up a bit. So, for example, if that piece, if this piece we just got rolls heavily into crit rate or EM or even attack percent, potentially it's relevant. So yeah, and for most people, if it doesn't roll heavily into crit rate, it's worth throwing away. If it rolls flat defense at level 8, I'd probably throw this piece away personally. What the heck? He has a double crit EM timepiece in Marasose with 4 line 2. Okay, I want to level that up. I can't not level this up. Well, good start. Better. Aw, sad. Oh my god, he has another double crit 4 line EM type. What the frick, dude? How does he get all the double crit EM pieces? My brother has so many like HP goblets he's unlocked, and I'm just unlocking them because why it's basically not relevant to level up HP goblets that don't have decent stats to start when you already have a goblet like this, right? I have no idea why he locked this. This is a weird circlet. I would definitely keep circlets like these on Marasose. Piece like this, as long as it avoids flat def, should be really good too. Right? If you have a heavy ER, heavy attack percent, heavy EM, could be exactly what you need. Oh my god, he has a double crit EM circlet, dude. What the? My brother has all the like dream pieces I would want for hybrid riding on this account. What the heck? Alright, so you can see there's this list has grown considerably for 5-star artifacts. Like, I think I've doubled the amount of 5-star artifacts that he had for fodder at the start of this video, just because they weren't relevant to level up in my opinion. Because we're out of fodder, I think where I'm going to leave off with this video is I'm just going to unlock anything I don't think was relevant. And yeah, I think basically what I've said now is already, I think, relevant for most artifacts in the game, right? Like, he just has to level up a lot of these artifacts to level 8 or 12. Hopefully I've illustrated with enough examples that maybe you'll learn something that can help you out. But I'm going to go through here, finish unlocking all the artifacts that aren't relevant. It's much easier to judge more niche artifacts. Oh, of course it is. Nice. It's much easier to judge more niche artifact sets, like, you know, this set, where if this circlet didn't roll crit damage in the last line, it wasn't really that relevant, right? All these Gilded Dreams artifacts, this one can be unlocked, but like all these, they have 2 good lines. Not many characters care about HP percent with Gilded Dreams or anything, but you, all you need to do, Adam, all you need to do is just level some of these up a little bit. This defense percent timepiece ain't exactly relevant. Unless it rolls double crit, then it could be an off piece for someone, right? It's really good that my brother has done a good job at locking artifacts that might be relevant. Genuinely. It's just, you gotta do the second part. You gotta level them up a little bit to see if they continue to be relevant past level 0. Because he just has eternally made this problem worse for him, wherein he keeps on farming artifacts and not leveling them up. Alright, now we're into his emblem pieces, and he has a distressingly small number of emblem pieces. I am assuming my brother's watching this, so Adam, farm more emblem. I honestly think you have enough, like Marasose and Golden Troop for now. Oh, he does have this ER piece on emblem. Maybe this rolls double crit for him. That'd be a nice win. Nope, sad. What? He has... Oh my god. Okay, he doesn't have Raiden on his account, to be clear, and C0 carry Raiden isn't very good anyways. But, what the, oh my god, why? Let me tell you, is he gonna have a freaking, oh, he has another onset emblem gun, what the, okay, I'm sorry, in a crit rate with crit damage on a 4 line, oh my god, dude, okay, it's fine. And he has all the crit damage circlets in the world. Okay. He has better emblem pieces. He has some of the emblem pieces I want. Like I'm trying to farm for hybrid Raiden right now, both for in Marasose Hunters and in emblem. And like this is the kind of timepiece I'm trying to grind for here. he just has all of my hybrid Raiden pieces. And then he has also this freaking goblet. So like, oh man, I don't have any pieces to throw into this, sadly. You know what, we're gonna throw some 5-star pieces in here. We're gonna see what it gets at level 4. Sad, okay. I could still be a cracked goblet, to be clear. I just had to see if the dream was real. I should just tell him to, you know what, oh my god, I just almost passed by this. What in the friggin' world? This is a, I don't know why he was farming Pale Flame at all, but this is potentially disgusting. I feel like the task I'm going to set out to my brother, this is not relevant, screw that piece. The task I'm going to set out to my brother is to level up every single one of his locked pieces to level 4. Tenacity pieces can be useful to have some DPS. Oh my god, what? Just all the quality, man. He's got so many, like, just potentially banger artifacts. So he's just, like, never touch. He just gets them. He's probably like, oh, that's a good artifact. And then never levels them up. I don't understand. Look, there we go, another double crit 4-line piece. Oh, good lord. Like, most of these are pieces that are, like, relevant to level up in some fashion or another. And he just hasn't touched them. Not that all of these pieces are ones you need to level up right away or anything, but I don't get why you wouldn't level up a piece like this. Oh look, another 4-line double crit with another relevant stat. Oh, look, a double crit. What the heck? Freaking double crit attack percent timepiece with 4-line. Oh lordy. How do you not level up pieces like this? I know he has Yai. So many random goblins he has, like, you know, like he has enough Hydro goblins with 1 line of crit that he probably has, you know, a 30 CV plus Hydro goblin just waiting to be leveled up somewhere in here. And hey, look, another double crit 4-line, perfect, like Sucro. Like what? How many does he have? Look, like all these. Oh my god, dude, all these pieces that like could be really good, could be upgrades for his Kazuha, could make his Sucrose better. Another double crit 4-line. Wait, what? Look, a 4-line crit rate, high roll crit rate with ER and VV. Like, oh my god, dude, another one. What? Don't just level them up. Hey, look, another double crit 4-line. Oh my god, bro. Like, attack percent on Gladiator, double crit, high roll, and it has EM too. Oh my god, like, the amount of builds I feel like my brother could have that would actually just be better if he had just leveled up his freaking artifacts. Look, double crit Hydro Goblet just sitting in here. What? Like, he has a number of Hydro units that could use that. Oh look, another 4-line crit circlet. And he has a smattering of potentially good. Alright, just another random double crit for the end. Okay, just... Okay. Oh, well, okay. I don't think I managed to fix my brother's account like I wanted to, because the main thing I wanted to fix was his artifacts, but I just don't have the ability to right now. Yeah, and you know what? Just to make an executive decision, because he honestly mostly just needs more emblem pieces. I don't know. It's not like he's in a terrible, terrible situation as far as emblem pieces go. It's just I think he could use a dump in the strong box. Well, I mean, this is kind of taking a poop in the strong box. We're dumping all the garbage artifacts. So this is what I'm going to do to end off the video. And then I'm going to go yell at my brother in real life. Blam. He could get value out of other artifacts, to be clear, but I'm just going to make this decision for him. So, okay then. See, and I got this for him, right? And now he's probably going to never even notice he got that. And oh my, come on, what? I'm going to, the more I do this, the more I'm going to be sad. How about one more? Can I be even more sad in seeing my brother get all the pieces I want? What the frick? Okay, he's getting all the carry emblem pieces, or the carry Raiden pieces today. I just... another... Wait, he's got... Okay, it's whatever. Like, I shouldn't even... Like, I should lock this in case it rolls double crit, but like, why even bother? What? Okay, this could technically be a usable Yelan piece, so we're locking it. But like... What in the world, man? He mostly, honestly, really needs an ER timepiece, which means he's not going to get an ER. I guess he doesn't really need to farm any more emblem after this because... okay. Because he's just going to get every freaking emblem piece he could ever want just from me doing this today. Why? This is exactly like, this is basically my dream piece for Hybrid Raiden. He's getting every Hybrid Raiden piece that I want. Oh my god, bro. I'm actually molding a little. I can't. Okay, well, this is a way to, like... I'm gonna lock this could be a good Yelan piece, and then why even bother with this? I'm gonna lock this piece because I think his flowers weren't that good, but like, and that could be a good Yelan piece. The only thing he hasn't gotten was a the only thing he hasn't gotten was a freaking timepiece, but he's probably gonna get one at this rate. Like, good lord, this has 2 good stats already. That's worth trying. Yeah, that could be really good. EM with ER, lock it. I don't know what he has, but maybe. And ER with crit on a 4-line, I mean, maybe. Last bout, I should probably honestly have maybe just told him to use this for leveling up his pieces, but whatever, it's fine. That's a potentially good goblet. And yet another crit piece for him potentially. So, anyways, this was... Yeah, hey, look, another double crit 4-line piece. He's never going to level up. We got enough for one more. Why not? Screw it. Use all of his fodder. This is his punishment. Okay, well, I'm punishing myself, honestly. Good lord. What the heck, man? What is my brother's luck? This is why he can't level up artifacts, because he gets too many good artifacts. Okay. It just keeps on giving me hybrid riding pieces on account that I don't actually own. Okay, well, this was this was an experience. Hopefully, it was entertaining. Why? How many freaking good artifacts did my brother just get? I just made his situation worse because now he has like 20 more artifacts that are potentially cracked that need to be level 20. Like, okay, well, good luck, Adam. Good luck.